parents, being involved in wanting the best for you is a problem.
Right.
You step in and do some of that if it's the wrong organization and say he ain't going there.
Yeah.
He's a giant. I don't know what. That's the cleanest. Are y'all seeing this? I've had best friends I've never given dap to like this. Look, Deion Sanders is very important to the world of football, college football, the NFL. The Hall of Famer is going to have a large impact on the game no matter what. So it's going to be clear and obvious that Shedeur Sanders, his son, and projected #1 overall pick, at least first round pick, has going to have a little bit of influence from Deion Sanders on where he's going to be able to land at one of the Senior Bowls. He's not throwing yet, but he did answer some questions and he kind of responded to some of those issues, bringing up about his dad. And I think he made a really good point. So we're going to pop in there, listen to that. If y'all enjoying these videos, leave a like on it. Dislike if you don't like it. Subscribe if you enjoy college football coverage and videos and stuff like that. After that, we're going to look at a little bit of Shedeur film and just kind of evaluate him looking forward, man. So let's hop right into it.
I like that I'm able to get in the forefront of everything and they're able to understand me and ask me whatever question they want. I'm not ducking, I ain't hiding. I'm right here live in the flesh, able to answer whatever questions is out there.
And so many people, they look at your dad and say like that's his involvement is a bad thing, but how much has that been a positive thing for you just to be ready for these bright lights?
I ain't know your parents, being involved in wanting the best for you is a problem.
Right.
I think as parents, each and every one will want the best for their kids. So the fact that he has an opportunity to do that for me and he has the best quarterback in the country, he's supposed to do that.
No, I think that's a dope take. I think that's a really dope response there because I think it's important that he puts things into perspective of these things because, whether it's like the LeBron-Bronny situation, the whole nepotism conversation, which is real. Look, I mean, that's what it is. Deion Sanders is a Hall of Famer. So he's going to have a large influence on what Shedeur does and how he does it. So instead of Shedeur being like insecure and being like, oh, well, nah, I'm me. Nah, my dad is Deion Sanders, dog. Yeah, he's prime time. Of course he's gonna help me out, but by the way, also because two things can be right at the same time. He thinks he's the best quarterback in the country. I ain't gonna argue with him. I ain't gonna argue with him if he thinks he's one of the best quarterbacks in the country. Because people have to like these takes over the years and over this year, like if he didn't have that last name Sanders XYZ, he wouldn't be as good or he wouldn't be as projected. Now, does it help his rating? Yeah, it probably does. But at the same time, listen to people who watch quarterbacks, even people who have bad things to say about Shedeur. It's not that he's some washed bum that's never going to make it in the NFL. It's like, oh, okay, well, sometimes the feet work can be a little unclean. Sometimes he escapes clean pockets. Sometimes he sacks himself. Sometimes he holds the ball too long. Like, those are the things. He's not an elite athlete, but and nowhere does anyone say go look at the people or scouting drafts at people who have done this for years. Go look at the worst ratings of Shedeur. It's not that he's some bum. He's not a project quarterback. He's a guy with a little decent upside with probably a lower floor than I think a lot of people are expecting because of the lack of mobility in the NFL. But again, the decision making's there, the arm talent's there. I think he does a lot for himself with throwing it. People like to say he doesn't throw anticipation. I think that's wrong. But we're gonna get deeper into that. I think it's just important that he is gonna have the confidence and keeps remaining to have that confidence. Like, yo, I can acknowledge the reality of the situation, right, and still tell you that I'm that dude, right? But let's get real, though, right? Because we all know that Deion Sanders has had a few things to say about whether he did or did not, or whether he does or does not want to influence what's happening in the draft. So let's hear this little snippet. This is November 12th, 2024. This is from Deion Sanders himself. Play that real quick. Oh, sorry. It launched the whole gosh darn thing. It's not what I wanted to do, son. It's not what I wanted to do at all. Oh, I think you can only watch on YouTube. Wow. I've never seen nothing like that. I hope I cut this part. If not, hey, what's happening?
It's probably going to be one or two top quarterback off the board if they know anything, right? And that organization may be 1, 2, 3, 4. Will you step in Eli Manning like, Deion Sanders like, to the point where, like, you told him, hey, man, I ain't taking that psych test with the Giants. I followed you after that. I said I wasn't taking it either. Will you step in and do some of that if it's the wrong organization and say he ain't going there?
Yeah, but I'm not going to do it publicly. I'll do it privately.
Yeah. Okay.
So you said you're going to be dad. You're going to be dad. You're going to be dad.
I'm dad. The cows come home. Yes, sir. And with Travis as well.
Oh, yeah. I keep forgetting that's your other son.
That's your other son. Yeah.
But give us a little bit more insight on where you would like to. You don't even have to name teams. You can just give me region, style, whatever, that Shedeur needs or you want to see him go and play for? You don't have to give me teams, just give me regions.
I'm not going to give you regions. I give you understanding.
Give me understanding.
Somebody that can handle the quarterback that he is, somebody that can handle understanding that what he's capable of, someone that has had success in the past handling quarterbacks, or someone in an organization understands what they're doing, not just throwing you out there amongst the wolves if you don't have the support in the infrastructure of the team. Forget the line. He's played with lines that hadn't been great, but he's been able to do his thing. But just the infrastructure of the team and the direction of where we're going. He could deal with anything. One thing about Shedeur that separates him from a lot of quarterbacks, Shedeur started every game in high school, every game in college, but one. And he's just, he is like that, man. Like, he has a true gift, and it comes from God, and he loves this game of football. You see him stunning like his daddy every now and then, but that's just who he is. He got that honest. You got to
Look, man, and obviously this is Fox, so I can't, play the actual video or whatnot and do too much. But I cannot emphasize how much, it makes me feel good. And we don't, look, this is a football channel, so we don't have to go deeper into the socioeconomic implications of a black man, loving on, praising, uplifting, giving the best opportunities to his young black son, and allowing that young black son to be boisterous, vocal, and confident in the way that we can. We won't go deeper into that because this is not that type of channel. But talking from a football perspective, man, that makes you feel good, right? That makes you feel so good that the son of a man who has created great football for me, great entertainment for me. I know I wasn't of the age when he was in his prime, but hey, guess what I was doing on YouTube? I was watching Deion Sanders highlights. I was watching Deion Sanders speeches. I was watching Leon Sandcastle Madden things, right? So this is someone whose impact on football reaches so far and so widespread to anyone who loves the game, right? To see him cherish that love, right? I think that's so important. So when everyone talks about nepotism in the NBA, it's a little different, right? It's only only the first 2 rounds matter. So LeBron, hey, they're gonna be mad at you. But in the NFL, dog, we got like 157 picks. It's all right to sneak a Shiloh in there. All right, it's gonna be all right. All right, Shiloh sneaks in day 3, so he keeps his, you know what I mean. All right, you know what I mean? If Shiloh Sanders gets drafted day 3, LeVar Ball and Deion Sanders are going to have that off. Regardless, that's not the main point of this video, even though the video is about Deion Sanders and how he controls. What does that control look like for Shedeur Sanders? Yo, he's a giant. I don't know what, that's the cleanest. Are y'all seeing this? They weren't even looking at each other. These motherfuckers is locked in. I've had best friends I've never given dap to like this. This is going on. So, yeah, it seems like he is gonna be a gosh dang giant. I like Brian Daboll. And I think a lot of Giants people like Brian Daboll, right? And especially being an organization with such close proximity to Eli Manning, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady. You know how I'm saying. So if he doesn't end up at Raiders, I believe 6. Raiders are at 6. If he gets snatched up first, and we can talk about the whole Cam Ward versus Shedeur, but to keep it on Shedeur, understand that the Browns is at number 2 now, or 3, 2 or 3. They got a top pick. Listen, somebody was saying something about the Browns, and apparently, and then he wanted to flush it down. So let's see what he had to say about that.
They say you a Cleveland Brown. That's what they say. Word on the street.
All right.
They say you a Cleveland.
This is the film we got to break down. Look at this dog. Hey, what's happening? Cleveland Brown. Let's talk about some what's it called? Let's talk about some film, man. And we're going to start with the least copyright first, just to end this off. Here is him and Cam Ward throwing the deep ball here. Oh my goodness. It sounds like someone's smashing marbles. And I really want to watch the footwork. Let's take a look at footwork. Let's take a look at the way the ball pops out of his hand. I really like it. Like I said, I don't love the velocity on his ball. Doesn't mean he doesn't have velocity on his ball, right? Doesn't mean he doesn't throw a gorgeous ball. And like I said, when it comes to touch, I don't think there's a lot of people better in the draft. Maybe Quinn sometimes if he wants to be consistent. But then you talk about the consistency, right? I think, and that's where the whole highest floor comes with, and at least a higher floor, I would say, than Cam Ward, is because you know what you're gonna get from Shedeur consistently. I think you're gonna get him to sit up. He's gonna hit on that 7. He wants to throw in stride, 7-step, 5-step, and get that ball out at the best that he can. So if he keeps that consistent and keeps his footwork clean, there's not a lot of quarterbacks that can make better decisions, right? You know, we're very, very decisive on the things that we're kind of highlighting here. Of course, you got the big boy stat. Shedeur Sanders, 47 college starts, 1,705 passing yards, 13,613 yards, 127 touchdowns, and 23 interceptions. But let's talk about a little film to close out here. This is one of my favorite plays, and I think it highlights one of the bigger misconceptions about Shedeur Sanders in his game. And so there's two lines of thought when people watch Colorado football, and I think this is a kind of a census thing, right? Either people say offensive line is terrible, or they say that Shedeur Sanders holds the ball too long. Now, I think it can be a mixture of both, and I think that the implications of having a bad offensive lineman and having defensive lineman in your face all the time probably makes it so you don't trust pockets as much, right? And I think this is going to be a clear, glaring example of what happens when he does have a good protection, right? So we got trips at the top, 3x1. Who is this? This is the big bad Shep over here, a big body player that's going to make something magic happen. All right, let's get into it. So we're gonna get here. They're only sending 4. We got the numbers, beautiful, and running backs looks like he's gonna chip and release. So we got a clean pocket here. He's sitting. He takes his 3-step. He hitches, right? Boom. He's ready to go. And now he's just standing in the pocket. And notice that he's standing in the pocket. He's not looking around. His feet are calm. He's good. He looks like, and I had to rewatch this. It looks like he was actually wanted to throw here. You can see a pat. Get ready. He puts it down, looks back, checks it. Okay, let me make some space. Let me reset. Okay, I still got time. Look where his head is. Looking forward. Down the field. All right, now it's game time. Right at this point, you've been sitting in the pocket for a cool. What's that? 3 seconds now. 25, 2, 3, 4, and boop. Yeah, so you've been in there for 3 seconds. If you know, you only got 3 seconds back there. So now you got to get a little more inventive, right? You use the pocket. You saw him read. You saw him just be calm in the pocket while he makes those things. And now it gets to, it's scramble drill time, right? He's free. There's not much more I can do there. All right, he's in your face. What do you do here? Not a hold. Even though you probably should hold at this point. Just drops his hips smooth. And I think one of the two most undervalued things that people don't point out in Shedeur is that he stays alive in that pocket. He is not quick. He is not fast. He's not an elite athlete, but he stays alive in that pocket and he will find his space. He'll stay very calm back there. And then the toughness too, right? I'm not sure it's going to be displayed much, but obviously you see him, to get that off you. It's more of I wish I could find that ball, but there's a ball, I think it was against Baylor, where he just sits in the pocket and just gets hammered as he throws a moonshot to Shepard. And he just slurps that thing for a touchdown. I think that was phenomenal stuff. But regardless, you see the toughness, you see the poise, you see his ability to stay alive in the pocket, and guess where his eyes are again? He wants to throw this ball, knows that he's clean, clear, and again, that's why I say he be throwing ducks. He be look, Shedeur be throwing some ducks, but you can throw ducks, and it doesn't really matter again if the person's wide open and you're always making the right decision. Let's dig here. Oh no, he's going. Oh, I think this is the throw. Is this the throw? Yes, it is. Okay, yeah, okay, awesome. This is the throw to Will Shepard. Boom! Look at this throw. Okay, I was watching this live, and I was like, why did he throw that right here? I was like, he takes 2 steps. He yams this thing. I was like, why did he throw that? And then I see Will coming underneath it. I'm like, there's like 3 dudes. And then look at the placement of this. Look at the play. Like, technically, he could have caught it a little higher up here. Nobody else could have caught that but Will Shepard. Okay, that thing hung in the air for a good 3 seconds. That was 3 seconds of airtime, dog. That's absurd. He threw a punt as a football player. But this video is entirely too long. To close out, man, I just think Shedeur is an elite football player. People have a lot of Tuas. People have a lot of comparisons to the likes of what's his name? What's that dude's name with the face? Geno Smith of that nature. Look, Deion Sanders is going to have a large role in this draft process regardless. NFL great. He's going to do what he has to do the way he has to do it, man. But y'all enjoy these videos, this type of video. I have a Cam Ward video locked and loaded. So if y'all want to do that, man, y'all let me know. Leave it down in the comments or like this video if you want to see that. Dislike this video if you don't like it. Subscribe if you want to see more college football coverage. And we'll see you next time. Peace.